Hey guys, what's up? Some last minute stuff here. Sorry, I was trying to figure out why my ring light wasn't working. I got it on just as the camera went live. Talk about cutting it close. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Once again, it is Friday night. It is 7 p.m., and that can only mean one thing. It is time for our weekly 1 hour live stream. Let's see who all we have in the chat this week. Let's see. We've got Mark, we've got Aaron, we've got Buddy, we've got Eric. Am I missing anyone? Wolf is here tonight. Yeah, close call, right? Yeah. I mean, and I think it'd be okay even without the ring light. There's pretty good light in this room, but I just like having it, just to be on the safe side. So, how's everyone's week been? Hope you guys had a good week. First week back, full week from the holidays, all that, getting back into the normal routine of things. It's pretty. It's always kind of tough to get back into the routine. By the way, guys, real quick, Kidd has got a video that's premiering tonight as well. So be sure to go over to Kidd's YouTube channel after we're done here and check out the new video that they have for tonight. So, but for us, we're going to be kicking things off tonight with one of Kidd's sister ships. And let me get us underway here. And the way we're going to kick it off, let's see. There we go. USS The Sullivans, guys, DD 537. So an article came out this week, and I'm going to pull it up on my phone here. It actually showed up in my Facebook feed about the Sullivans and the Croaker, which are both going to be going to dry dock later this year. So just bear with me a sec while I pull that up. And this is from WGRZ. I'm guessing this is a local media source in Buffalo. And it says, the bids from the requests for proposals will shed more light on the potential timetable and costs, and if the $21 million raised thus far will cover the job. Might help if I actually read the headline of the article too, which would be effort to save the Sullivans nearing critical step. Let's see. Eric, I'm trying to watch the Kidd premiere and this live stream at the same time. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here with us, but like I said, as soon as this is over, that's the first thing I'm going to do is go watch their new video. But anyway, here goes the article. It says, the first of what are hoped to be several international maritime specialists were due to start touring the Buffalo and Erie County Naval and Military Park on Wednesday as part of a critical next step to repair and preserve two World War II era vessels, which have been mainstays at the park for decades. These visits precede what will be a January 17th deadline for requests for proposals for a massive multi-million-dollar undertaking. The things that are going on behind the scenes are very important, museum president and CEO Paul Marzello said. Yeah, Wolf, the Sullivan's looking incredible in that photo. Yes, she does. But the article goes on, says, and I'm not going to read this whole article because it's a bit long, but you'll get the gist of what they're trying to achieve here. 21 million has been raised through the Save the Sullivans campaign since the Fletcher class destroyer began taking on water in April of 2022. And we have a picture of that right here. Horrible to see her like that, but stopgap measures were taken to keep the ship from sinking, but further investigation revealed more extensive repairs were needed to preserve both the Sullivans and the nearby USS Croaker, a Gato-class World War II submarine that has been a part of the museum's collection since 1988. We're looking for a management firm that will organize, coordinate, and execute a plan to get the ships out of here into dry dock, and then to manage the process while they're in dry dock and get them back to Buffalo safely to be moored where they should be. Let's see. Oh, Steve's here. Steve, what's up? Let's see. Mark says, is she floating in a cradle? No, Mark. As far as I know, all three ships, Croaker, Little Rock, and Sullivans, all are free floating in the Buffalo River. Wolf, that's a sad sight. Good thing they managed to raise her. Yes, for sure. Hey, Steve, I don't know how much time you got, but we're going to be talking about a ship that you know, that I think you know a good bit about in a little bit. Let's see. You don't go checking through the yellow pages looking for these kind of firms. They can actually come and inspect the ships so they can gather information to put a solid proposal together. Once they have them in their hands, we'll be able to make a decision and who will be best prepared to carry out that very important mission. The Sullivans is boxed in by the Cleveland-class light cruiser USS Little Rock, which is that larger ship you see right here to the right of the image. And then if you look down right here, that's the very tail end of Croaker. So they're going to have to dredge the Buffalo River, back Little Rock out, pull Croaker forward, and then they can get Sullivans out. Now, and the article says we cannot dredge the Buffalo River until after the spawning season ends, which is around July 1st. And admittedly, I do not know what the spawning season is. Maybe I can email Shane and he can enlighten me on that. If it all goes according to plan, by mid-August, a tug would be able to pull the Little Rock aft to a position near canal side, after which tugs could then pull the Croaker forward enough for another set of tugs to then access the Sullivans and then kind of wedge her out into the river. Bids from the request for proposals will shed more light on potential timetable and costs, and in the $21 million raised thus far will cover the job. Do we know if that's going to be enough? We don't, CEO Marzello said. Not until the ships get into dry dock and you start removing some of the plates to see what kind of structural repairs need to be made. Ask Tim with the Kidd about that. You only see what's on the surface until you get it in the dry dock, and then you're like, oh my God, now we have to allocate funds for what we were going to do with this and then now move them to that. It's almost like, when you bring your car into a body shop and after there's been an accident and you only see the surface damage, but when they start tearing it apart and you really start seeing a whole lot more damage than what you actually thought was there, that's essentially what they're going to be dealing with here. Kidd is dealing with that. I have no doubt Sullivans and Croaker are going to be dealing with that as well. Let's see. So that's essentially the gist of that article. And I imagine we're going to be talking to Shane a whole lot more, or hopefully a whole lot more in the coming year as they get ready for that and eventually when it actually happens. Wolf says, that's going to be some long, difficult work. Yes, because they are sending not one, but two ships. And, Kidd, they just had to get Kidd out of dry dock, or not out of dry dock, but out of her cradle. They've got to maneuver three different ships and then get two of them. I don't know if it's downriver or upriver. I don't know where they're going yet. But, yeah, they've got to get two vessels towed. But at least they don't have to go in the Gulf of Mexico. Buddy wants to know, how did the ship sink? If I remember correctly, and we had Shane from the Buffalo Naval Park on a couple of months ago, and if I remember exactly what he said, basically the ship hit either below the water or on side right here. Well, it had to be below the water because it was below the water line where the damage happened. She bumped up against something right here. I don't know if it was the river bed or this concrete right here, which essentially punctured holes into the ship. But you can always go to the Buffalo Naval Park channel And you can also go to our channel and find that video. And let me see if I can pull up the image for that video, and you can go back and watch that. Let's see. Let me find it real quick. I don't think it was that long ago. Let's see. Oh, because I'm looking in the wrong section. Bear with me, guys. Here it is, right here. So the Buffalo Naval Park up close on November 15th on the channel. If you go and find that, that's where we've got Shane from the Buffalo Naval Museum on the channel. And he talks about all of that. He gives us a complete history of the museum, of the ships, and we go into the dry dock discussion. Mark says that's a sad sight. It most certainly is, Mark. But the good thing is she's temporarily fixed and she's going to be permanently fixed. So having said all that, let's go to our next topic. Yes, here we go. We were just talking about the Kidd. This is Parks Stevenson's office at the USS Kidd Veterans Museum. This is a picture that he posted on the one of the model ship pages on Facebook. And he put a caption, and I'm going to read the caption to you guys. He said, the one below, Titanic, led me to the one above, Kidd. So I have the models of both in my office to remind me. 1 to 96 USS Kidd, model and case built by Darrell Averett, donated to the USS Kidd Veterans Museum. 1 to 200 Titanic, model and case built by Michael Winters, on loan to the USS Kidd Veterans Museum. The Titanic model is planned to be included in a future exhibit in the museum, along with dive imagery of the wreck site and narration by Titanic explorer and now the museum's executive director, Parks Stevenson. How about that, guys? That model looks fantastic. So Buddy wants to know where they got the models. I just explained it. So let's zoom in. Here's the Titanic model. And he explained, like I said, exactly where who built the models, where they got them from. And let's go up to the Kidd model. I have seen these in person, by the way. They are really, really nice models. So there's the Kidd model. And you can see on this model represents where she still had both of the quintuplet torpedo launchers. When she was in her current configuration, which is August 1945, and I'll bring in the model here so you guys can see. You see, she only has the aft set in 1945. It was replaced with anti-aircraft guns when she went into the Pacific. James, do you know a great store or website I can get a Titanic model that can split in half? I do not, buddy. I've never actually looked for a model like that for myself. So I would suggest going on Facebook and some consulting like ship model Facebook pages and see if they would have any good recommendations for you. But so anyway, guys, yeah, a Titanic exhibit at the Kidd Museum with dive footage from Parks, and he's narrating it. Yes. Who would not want to see that? Sign me up. Steve kind of tells us a little bit about the Sullivans here. I'm going to probably butcher that word, a seiche or seiche. Seiche, which is a strong lake effect snow wind event. That's what caused Sullivans to rub against the river bank. Thank you, and or the pylons. Thank you, Steve. I knew it was something like that, but I couldn't remember exactly how Shane explained it. So thank you for that. So let's see. What is next on our agenda? Yes, of course. BB-35, USS Texas, with that nerd standing in front of it. So they are, there was an article for Texas as well that I believe I saved. And let me see if I can find it. Yes, here we go. I knew somebody was going to get excited about that. There he is. I know this is why you came tonight, isn't it, Wolf? You just wanted to see Texas, BB-35. She's one of our beloved dreadnought battleship, only one left in existence, only ship left to serve in both world wars. She is right there. And by the way, as far as I know, I am still on target to go see the Texas again next month for the restoration tours. Buddy says I came for USS Kidd and more, and you're gonna get a whole lot more, buddy. We got a packed show tonight. We're barely scratching the surface right here. So speaking of Texas, though, this is from the Battleship Texas Foundation. This was posted 2 days ago. Starting in January 2025, Battleship Texas restoration tours will include an additional stop to view the foretop. While the structure is onshore, visitors can learn about the history, repairs, and ongoing restoration of one of the ship's most iconic parts. This addition to the tours will only be available for a limited time, so don't miss out. It's one of the reasons why I'm kind of making sure I go next month. And in case we need to be reminded, this section right here, that is the foretop. They have completely removed that off of the ship because it is easier for them to take it off and restore it and then put it back on than it would be to restore it, just sitting there on the ship. So that's what's going on with Texas right now. Photo and video are allowed on these restoration tours on Texas, whereas they did not allow video on the dry dock tour. There are rules, and I will, of course, abide by the rules. But when I go, I have full intention of getting more photos and whatever video I am allowed to get. And, of course, I will be sharing that with you guys when that time comes. Now, let's see. What do we have next on our agenda? The Mighty A. So, we had 2 different anniversaries yesterday, guys. One was a pretty cool one, and one was a not so cool one. But we're going to start off with the cool one first. BB-60 USS Alabama. Yesterday was the 60th anniversary of the opening of Battleship Memorial Park, which is home to the USS Alabama. Yep, buddy. Alabama, Mark. Alabama. Aaron, I will be going soon, buddy. Aaron, that's cool. Is that going to be your first time going to the ship? Wolf, the Mighty A. And yeah, so here she is, of course, as she currently looks as a museum ship, which she's been for 60 years now. And I've said it before, kudos to the people of Alabama who had the foresight to save the ship because remember, Steve, I don't know if we can still be friends. Remember, all 4 of the South Dakota class ships were going to be scrapped. The people of Alabama decided we're not going to let that happen to the Mighty A. So it was a statewide rally. They raised the funds they needed to save the ship. They got her saved. She was towed from Washington State all the way to Mobile, where she got there in 1962. Or excuse me, yeah, was it 62? It was 62. We're 60 years, so it had to be 64. And yeah, she's been there ever since. Of course, USS Massachusetts, Big Mammy, BB-59, was the other South Dakota class ship that was saved. The first two South Dakota class ships, South Dakota BB-57 and Indiana BB-58, unfortunately, they were scrapped. So we're very thankful that we still have Big Mammy and the Mighty A still with us. And thanks to Battleship Memorial Park, we also have another ship that was saved, and it's at the park as well, USS Drum. Buddy says my aunt works near the USS Alabama. That's pretty cool. Wolf, we are very lucky for that. Yes, most definitely. As you guys know, Alabama is the next closest ship to me geographically after Kidd. So it's the other, after Kidd, it's the one I've been to the most. Mr. Golden is joining us. All the way from Scotland. Mr. Golden, we haven't seen you in a while. How have you been, my friend? Hope you've been well. Hope you had some good holidays. But yeah, guys, thanks to Battleship Memorial Park and the saving of BB-60, USS Drum was saved also. Drum arrived. Aaron's real excited. Aaron's a big sub fan. But thanks to those, this ship was also saved. I do not know if Drum is the most accurate to her World War II configuration. I think COD might be in the running for that as well, but I could be wrong. I know Drum is more accurate to her World War II configuration than Croaker and Cavala, because both of those subs were updated and turned into what they called hunter-killer subs. So they look vastly different from Drum, even though they're all sister ships. Karen, welcome to the stream. So, having said all that, guys, I started off by saying we had a very nice anniversary yesterday. Steve, are you here? We also had a very sad anniversary yesterday. This beautiful lady here, guys, had an anniversary yesterday. Yesterday was the anniversary of the Queen Elizabeth, or as she was known at the time, Seawise University, catching fire. That was the anniversary yesterday, same day that we celebrate the anniversary of Battleship Memorial Park. So let's talk about our Queen for a few minutes. And I've got Mary up here on the shelf since I don't have a model of Queen Elizabeth. She's standing in representing her sister. Hull number 552, which would later go on to be called the Queen Elizabeth. And yep, Steve, 1972, 57 years. She was launched on September 27th, 1938, and named in honor of Queen Elizabeth, the wife of King George VI. And coincidentally, or well, it's not a coincidence, but oddly, Queen Elizabeth's maiden voyage was not until October 16th of 1946. And there she is, as she was in Hull. That was before I'm sorry, guys, I'm getting all tongue-tied. This is a construction photo is what I'm trying to get at. So, and here's a really nice photo here. I've always loved this photo. I know you guys have seen this photo too. The three biggest ships in the world: Queen Elizabeth at the far right of 85,000 tons, Queen Mary in the middle for 81,000 tons, and the Normandy on the far left at 83,000 tons. So I mentioned, yes, Mr. Golden, John Brown was an engineering powerhouse. John Brown were the builders of the Queen Elizabeth. What other ships did they build, by the way? What else did John Brown build? Yeah, and here's another good one. Steve, the only time they were together for the Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth for a few weeks in 1940. Does anyone know why Queen Mary's maiden voyage was not until 1946? When you consider Queen Mary's was much earlier than that. No, Mark, that is not Lusitania. That is HMT, Queen Elizabeth. HMS Hood. They built tons of livery ships. She was commissioned, but so her maiden voyage was not until 1946 as a passenger liner, her intended purpose. That's why she was built. She went straight into World War II as HMT Queen Elizabeth. Oh, sorry, guys. I misunderstood. Yes, Lusitania. I asked the question, what else did John Brown build? Sorry, Mark. Lusitania, HMS Hood. Let's see. Okay. So, yeah, that's, as I understand it, that's why Queen Elizabeth's maiden voyage was not until 1946. She exited service in 1972. And there she is, still in her HMT paint scheme. Aaron says John Brown built Lusitania and 2,700 Liberty ships. Mr. Golden says they built Aquitania. So yeah, guys, they, as it was said, they were a shipbuilding powerhouse. You know, they definitely, if anyone gave Harland and Wolff a run for their money, it would have been John Brown. So anyway, moving on. There's a nice, gorgeous picture of her right there. That is an amazing picture of the ship right there. So yeah, she went out of service in 1972. She was to be a tourist attraction in Port Everglades, and she actually opened in 1969 as said attraction. It didn't last because, as it's been discussed, the climate in Florida was way too hard on the ship, unlike what the Queen Mary has to deal with in Southern California, which to this day, I still don't understand why that was the case when we have all these museum ships along the Gulf Coast that endure the same type of climate that you have in South Florida. I'd love to talk to somebody who, like a person. There's this guy, I don't remember his name, but Mike Brady interviewed him when Mike Brady did his Titanic Olympic, when he was debunking the Titanic Olympic switch theory. He had a guy on that was, I think, one of the designers or one of the builders of the Queen Mary 2 on there. I would love to be able to talk to that guy and ask him questions about why the Queen Elizabeth could not survive in that environment as opposed to all these warships that do survive in that environment. Yes, Wolf, absolutely. It's a shame the climate was so bad. Mr. Golden, she was the biggest ocean liner ever built until 1993. But if you lived in the same time as Queen Elizabeth was the owner of the ship and you build a ship similar to QE and QM, well, QE and QM were sister ships. Will says maybe she was built for the colder weather of the Atlantic and Britain rather than the hot and humid weather of Florida? Possibly. I don't know if there's something in the building material, maybe perhaps so, that would make her more unable to, stay in that type of environment. Stephen Payne. Was it Stephen Payne? I don't know. Can someone look into that? But going on to the Queen. I don't know if this is the last picture I got of her. Yeah, that's the last picture. We're not getting to that just yet. So anyway, in 1970, the ship was sold at auction to a Hong Kong businessman, Tung Chao Young, and would eventually become known as Seawise University. It is believed, they may have even confirmed it, that fire was intentionally set to the ship on January 9th, yesterday, 1972. The reasons are still unknown. She rolled over on her side because of water from the fire extinguishing ships, and they just let her sit there, and eventually they started scrapping her bit by bit, and all that was left of her was covered up in land reclamation. So there's essentially nothing left to her other than, fragments and artifacts scattered throughout. Buddy, Titanic and Olympic were iron. What is Queen Elizabeth? I would assume, and Steve, you could correct, you would probably know better on this. Was Queen Elizabeth also of iron? Steve, sucking in the nasty inlet water in Port Everglades for her condensers did a lot of damage. Let's see. Mark says it was probably electrical fire. Steve, always the Hong Kong businessman, always known as CY Tung or just CY, hence the play of the word Seawise. I never made that connection, Steve. That's pretty cool. And Steve also says Queen Elizabeth was made of steel, not iron. And Titanic and Olympic may have had a mixture of the two. See, when it comes to engineering, guys, I don't know much about the engineering and the building of the ships. I can tell you what lifeboat Molly Brown was in, but don't ask me, how the engines worked and what material is made. That part of my brain doesn't work. So, having said all that, we pay our respects and we remember the Queen Elizabeth. She shouldn't have suffered the fate that she suffered, and I would think, poor Queen Elizabeth, her fate was probably even worse than a lot of these other ships. Definitely worse than what the Big U is going to endure. Scotland had Mr. Golden. Scotland had a big steel industry. Yeah, Mark, that I knew. Titanic had steel and iron rivets. I knew that, but the actual material, yeah. Okay, Steve. Titanic and most ships by the 1900s, you said 1990s, but I'm pretty sure you meant 1900s were steel. Let's see. They push steam pressure into the engine in the Titanic and Olympic. Let's see. Just a higher sulfur content. Okay. So yeah, guys, remembering Queen Mary's sister right there, the Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, 1900s. It's okay, Steve. I know what you meant. But we're gonna move on now. Let's see. I've got this here for a reason, guys. We're gonna be talking about the Fletchers a little bit tonight. This is USS Black, DD 666. Sister ship to Kidd, sister ship to Sullivans. And here's why I'm showing a picture of this in Warships. We had this discussion in the game, in Discord yesterday. This is USS Black as she appears in World of Warships. Steve, I got to eat dinner now. Catch you all soon. Okay, no problem, Steve. Thanks for for hanging out with us and talking with us about QE. I knew you would know a good bit about that, so I appreciate you joining us for that. Let's see. Yep. USS Black. Yep. So anyway, notice the bridge, guys. This is what I'm wanting to take a look at. You see how there's a bridge wing right here, and they have the same one on the other side, and then you've got this rounded part of the bridge right here. And I imagine this has got to be, the wheelhouse and all that. So again, this is how she appears in World of Warships. And I have this ship, and we're going to look at some footage in just a minute. Let's go over to a real-life photo of the Black. Here is USS Black, the real ship. Look at the bridge right here. It's got that wedge-shaped bridge. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, in the last photo, a lot of the earlier Fletchers had that bridge design. But here's USS Black. She's got the same bridge design as the 4 surviving Fletchers in the world. Remember, 175 ships, Fletchers were built. Only 4 of them still exist. Here's another picture of Black. No, Wolf, USS Black, one of many Fletchers, yes. Buddy downloaded World of Warships 3 Blitz 3D. Cool. Wolf, that's inaccurate for this ship. Wolf, you know why I'm bringing this up. Black had one like Kidd and the Sullivans. That bridge was an earlier Fletcher design, precisely. So yeah, there's another picture of Black. Look at the bridge. Right here, you see that wedge-shaped design, not that curved one we first saw. Here she is again. USS Black, set condition 1 Alpha, Vietnam 1966. Coming up alongside USS Caliente AO-53 to take on Black Oil. Once again, look at the bridge. Here's a side view. Look at the bridge. So you guys see where I'm going with this. And here she is one more time. This might be Sullivan's in this picture with her, by the way. USS Ajax with destroyers alongside circa 1962. But let's zoom in to Black. There she is again with that same bridge. But look over here. You see that 5-3? That might be Sullivan's. We can't see the whole hull number, so we don't know for sure, but this kind of lines up with how Sullivan's looks. There's a 5-3 on the hull. There's the bridge right there, which is the same bridge Sullivan's has. This ship has a tripod mast, so it was modified. Sullivan's currently is in that same configuration. So it's possible Black and Sullivan's are in the same photo here. Now, we're getting into the 4 surviving Fletcher classes left in the world. This is USS Cass and Young. And look at the bridge. Same thing, although it's a bit modified. But there it is. You can see it. Wedge-shaped design. There she is again from a different view, from the starboard side. Same bridge. And let's see. I'm looking at the wrong monitor. Here's Kidd, obviously, and Kidd's the only one with the original bridge design, and which was open. A lot of them have roofs, and the other 3 have roofs and windows. Right here, where I'm moving the mouse, you can see it was just an open deck on Kidd. Wolf Cass and Young was another great Fletcher. Yes, she was, buddy. Kidd, my favorite ship. You've got good taste, buddy. And here's a better view of Kidd's bridge. Again, you can see it all opened up like that. She's going to look a lot different when she gets back later this year. Of course, you guys know that. Let's see. This is Velos. Buddy, you have to love that USS Kidd design. We most certainly do, buddy. But here's USS, well, not USS. It's Velos, which I believe was in the Greek Navy. She is now a museum ship over there, formerly known as the USS Charette. Same bridge design, but you can see she's got windows and a roof, and that's what Sullivan's has. Yep, there. You got it, Wolf. That's it. She's in Greece by the last armored cruiser. And going back to Kidd, Wolf says, can't wait to see her with the Dazzle. Oh, me too. Tim absolutely hates it. And I understand his reasons why. He explained it, but I can't help it. I can't wait to see her in that Dazzle scheme. Mr. Golden, I love how Missouri was providing fire support in 1991. Missouri was a beast, always was. And yeah, here's Velos again. There's a nice side view of Velos. And let's see. And here is Velos as she appears in Warships. Look at the bridge. The bridge is accurate. So I'm... yeah, Eric. Yeah, Tim's not happy about the Dazzle at all. He said it straight up. I hate it. It sucks. And he explained his reasons. I totally understand his reasons, but I can't help it. I can't wait to see her in that Dazzle scheme. Yep. Yeah, exactly, buddy. So here we go. We're going to finish off the night looking at Warships footage and talking about the ships. And look, there she is. This is Black as she appears in Warships. Notice the different bridge. Oh, and we opened with Sullivan's, guys. I wanted to show this as well. Let's see. USS Sullivan's challenge coin, guys. Right next to Kidd's challenge coin. And I also have one for Alabama BB-60. Let's see. Wolf says, Velos not having her middle gun makes her pretty unique. Indeed. So while we're looking at, and I'd love to know, and I wanted to reach out to either Tim or Shane from Buffalo Naval Park if they ever heard of a Fletcher class ship starting off with that early bridge design, like what we're seeing here, and then being modified into that wedge-shaped platform surrounding the bridge, like the 4 surviving ships have. And I didn't get a chance to ask them about that. I'll try and reach out to Tim and see if he knows if that was done to Black or any other Fletcher at any point. I wouldn't think so, but it's the only reason I can come up with as to why Black looks this way in Warships, because this Black has been in the game for a while and they've never bothered to fix that, assuming, it was wrong, and it obviously is, based on the real photos we've looked at. Let's see. Buddy says, USS Kidd put in ship emoji, USS Texas put in heart. We love Kidd and Texas here, buddy. I've mentioned many times when it comes to battleships, BB-35 is in my top 5. I love that ship, and I'm going to see her next month again, and I can't wait. Mr. Golden needs more Carly floats. Wolf's got a good one here. Let's see. Given the hull number and Kidd came earlier, I think Black was launched and served in World War II with the round bridge like the others. But that bridge design came with earlier Fletchers. And if they stayed in hull number, Black came after Kidd. Sullivans came way before both of them because Sullivans was 537. And Sullivans has the same bridge design as Kidd and what Black had in real life. At least from the pictures we've seen, I have never seen a real image of the Black with that bridge. Buddy, hopefully we meet up in Alabama one day. If I am on USS Alabama, you never know, buddy. So I would love to find out from Warships why the Black has that bridge design in this game. You know, am I missing something? I don't think I am, but you never know. Mr. Golden would love to see Alabama. She is a sight to see, buddy. She is incredible. And then added bonus, you get to see the Drum at the same time. Now, I know some of you guys have, we'll talk about the warship games here, the game itself for a minute. We never really talk about the game itself a whole lot. We mostly, you know, I use the footage here as a means to drive the conversations we have. Aaron, the makers of warships are not ship nerds like us. Probably not. They're probably there to make a buck. Max likes the stern. Wolf would love to see Alabama and Drum as well. You most certainly will. Oh, I torped the heck out of that ship. Look at that. Boom! Black takes one down. Mark, you just recently started playing warships, did you not? And by the way, I got the Black completely free, guys. There's different currency in World of Warships. There's coal, there's steel, and there's gold. And Black was one of the most expensive ships in terms of coal, as far as you know, a currency you can use to buy a ship. She was 296,000 coal, which is, like I said, it's one of the absolute most expensive you can buy, at least as far as the American ships go that I know of. But I sank some ships too in this game. Don't know if I can put my username in chat though. I mean, do you want to put that information out there in the first place, buddy? You know, always be mindful that there are always, you know, a troll could always end up watching the replay of this and go troll you, you know, on your account or something. So I would caution against putting any type of usernames and stuff like that in the chat. It's your choice. I won't take it off if you want it there, but I would just caution against it. If people want to, if any of you guys have Steam and you want to play the game with me, I would be happy to share that information with you in Discord, because that's more of a private setting. But I would not recommend just putting it in the chat here. Just my opinion. But yeah, Mark, I know you, Mark and Aaron, both of you guys, didn't you guys recently get this game? And if so, what platform are you playing the game on? And Wolf, I know you played this game a lot. Are you still playing this game? And you got any new ships, or do you have Texas? Okay, yep. Mark has the game on Steam. Yep, that's where I play. I play on Steam. It's easier to record footage like this. Max, great game. How did you guys like the Titanic walkthrough a few weeks ago? We hadn't done Honor and Glory in a long time. That's why I decided to do it a few weeks ago. And of course, we'll be doing that again in a few months in April when it's Titanic week. And of course, we have what I really want, guys, and I've been thinking about who all here. I know Wolf says Arkansas. Yeah, Arkansas needs to be in this game. Yeah, Eric, that's what we've been talking about. And Warships got this ship wrong. It said that bridge looks like the Kidd's, but without that wraparound patio, or as I call it, the wedge shape in front. And we just looked at real photos of the Black, and we know that the Black had that. So I'm wondering why Warships did not, why Warships does not portray the Black correctly. Mark, my computer unfortunately won't work for THG. I'm not worried. That's okay. Aaron, they just changed the numbers and duplicated a Fletcher. Yeah, because they do have the Fletcher in here, but you also have Velos with the correct bridge. Ooh, took a torp there. And we have a Kidd in the game with the correct bridge. So it should be nothing for them to go in and remodel Black real quick and put the correct bridge on the ship, because that model already exists in the game. Eric says that they goofed, I guess. Yeah, I would imagine so, Aaron. Eric, is the kids' video still on right now, or did that go off? I have not yet checked to see how long the video is, or what the content is. Which I'll be checking it out soon. We're at 52 minutes, guys. We've got about, let's say we'll probably go like another 10 minutes or so. So I want to get to footage of the actual Fletcher as well, because I have that, like we were just discussing. Keep running into to the shore there. Is that in Iowa? No, that's not in Iowa. It is over. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting question. Mr. Golden, what was the name of the Cunard liner that fought the imposter of itself during World War I? That is a good question. Man, I wish Steve was still here, because Steve would know the answer to that. Carmania? I think it is that, Mr. Golden. I think that's what it is. I wish Steve was here. He could tell us for sure, but I think it was Carmania. James, I just want to see, if you made a Titanic movie, how would you do it? Buddy, I've never been asked that question. I would really have to think about that. This answer may be kind of generic, but it's the truth. I would, of course, try to make the ship as accurate as I could possibly make it. Even more accurate than when Cameron made it, if that's even possible. The good thing about Cameron's movie, when it came to the visuals of Titanic, he actually had Ken Marshall as an advisor to him on the movie. So that's one of the reasons why the ship looks, as spot on as it could be for the time. I'm not sure, buddy. I'd have to think about that. Yeah, in response to Carmania, Eric says, I think so too. I'm almost positive that's what it was. We've got about 5 minutes or so. Can somebody look that up on Google real quick and let us know? So yeah, so that was Black, guys. This is the actual Tier 9 Fletcher that you can get, just on the tech tree in the game. And look, it's got that original Fletcher bridge design. It doesn't have the wedge shape that Kidd and the other 3 survivors have. It's even got the name on the back of the ship. It doesn't have the hull numbers. Can anybody tell me what the original, what was the hull number for USS Fletcher? Does anybody know? Shoot, I better type it and make sure I remember what it is. Let me check and see if I was right. I know it in my head. Let's see. No, I don't want the class. I want the actual ship. Okay, yep, I was right. Come on, Wolf. Wolf says, I can't believe I forgot. It's okay. I had to check and make sure that I remembered it, and I'm right. I do remember what it is. Yes, Wolf. DD 445 was USS Fletcher, lead ship of the class. That is correct. And here's the actual Fletcher sailing. Fascinating story, Eric. Cool. Nope, no problem, Eric. Man, I think we're gonna probably wrap it up in about. Well, we're almost at an hour, but we may go a few minutes over because I really want us to look at the Fletchers here for a little bit, and after that, then I'm gonna go and watch the new video that that kid put out. But yeah, DD 445 was the USS Fletcher. So, what did you guys think of our stream last week with Tim? I know not all of you guys were here, but some of you were here. I know Eric was here. Of course, Aaron, Mark, and Max, Buddy. What did you guys think? Did you guys like last week's stream? You know, my stream, our conversation with Tim last week did even better, performed better on our channel and the kids' channel than what our original discussion did. Well, the model of the Black might be inaccurate, but they definitely did make a nice model of the Fletcher. Oh yeah, for sure. And the Black itself looks good too. It's the wrong bridge. Aaron, way long. And you know, I went into that, Aaron, with the mindset. I'm like, okay, we're not going 3 hours again. We're not going 3 hours again. I went into it with that mindset. I'll be damned if we didn't go 3 hours again. Let's see, Eric. That's a good one. SMS Cap. I'm going to butcher that. Trafalgar is the ship that impersonated the Carmania. Eric thought it was a great stream. Thank you, Eric. I'm glad you appreciate it. Mark was an awesome long stream. Thank you, Mark. Carmania sank Trafalgar in 1914. Karen says it was an informative stream. Thank you. Buddy, if you see, in game will probably be sailing you. I pretty much sailed just American ships. I did get at least one British ship, just for Wolf. So, because I wanted to surprise him with footage of one of those ships. I think it was it Agincourt? I think it was, Wolf. I had surprised you with it on stream one night. You didn't know I had it. Aaron, I was out by the time it was over, referring to last week's stream. That's okay, because there's always the replay. Yeah, HMS Agincourt. Yep, that's what it was. I got that ship just for Wolf. I played it a few times. I actually like the British carrier in the game as well. Iron Duke, I got one time. It was like a, you know how every now and then they let you, they essentially loan you the USS Arizona and you can play it for free for like a week or something. I believe that's what happened with Iron Duke. No. I've got it backwards. I own Iron Duke, and but I did get footage of Agincourt because they did like that loan thing I was just describing about the Arizona. So that's what was going on with that. But I did get a what you call it, I got a tier 10 British carrier for free. I think it was in the beginning of December. Warships let everyone have one tier 10 ship for free, but it was only certain ones. It was like 4 or 5 of them, like, and one of each different type, like one battleship, one destroyer, so forth. And it was only certain ones on the list and that you could pick from. And I picked the British carrier. That was one of them. Let's see. Thanks for having me on the stream. Hope to see you on the next. And thanks for the suggestion in this live stream. No worries, buddy. Have a good evening, buddy. We appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us as always. And I will see you next week. Let's see. Mr. Golden, I like HMS Renown, a Fairfield-built ship. I'm not too familiar with that ship, but I would imagine Wolf is. Wolf loves the British ships as well. So let's see. We're just about nearing the end here. Well, I already got next week's topic planned out, by the way. Oh, that reminds me, guys. Next week, if you are here, the Kobe Titanic that I have been working on will be making its debut on next week's live stream. You don't want to miss that. When I hold that thing, I'm holding it like this. It's freaking massive and it's heavy. Let's see, Mr. Golden. My grandma worked at the Yarrow shipyard during the war. Made a hell of a lot of boilers. Wow, no kidding. That is awesome. Wolf, HMS Renown, pretty cool battle cruiser. Yay, Lego Titanic. Well, it's not the Lego Titanic, Mark. It's the Kobe Titanic, which is basically like Legos. So, but yeah, she is a huge model. At least you see the Queen Mary right there is the biggest scale model I've ever built, and she's essentially double the length of the Queen Mary. It cannot fit on the shelf. It's too big. I'm actually going to have to find a shelf or some cabinets big enough to put this thing on for display because it's 39 inches long. I measured it from the tip of the bow to the tip of the stern. It's 39 inches long. Let's see. So anyway, yeah, so we're just over an hour now, and I think we're going to wrap it up here, guys. This was a really fun stream. I ended up going on more with the news and stuff than I thought I would, which is really good because I wanted it to for it to be that way. Anyway, guys, you know the content schedule is as always. Live streams are every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Our weekly videos are Friday mornings at 7 a.m. Our random video shorts are every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. All times are Central Time. Mark, by the way, what's the score of the Texas Ohio State game? I forgot that's on right now. Mr. Gold, I love that Queen Mary's still building it. That's how I discovered this channel. Steve discovered my this channel the same way, Mr. Golden, my model video of building the Queen Mary. There is a Queen Elizabeth model. I've got one saved on my eBay watch list. It's by Airfix, which is the same people that built the Mauritania model that I have. And if the funds allow for it, I'm going to try and get that model too. Mark, great stream. Yep, thanks, guys. Thank you all so much for attending. And Aaron, you are correct, sir. As always, you guys know the drill. Until the next time, thanks for watching. Tune in next week to see the Kobe Titanic model and drive safely.